No. Fucking piece of shit. God. Oh, God. Look at me. Look at my fucking eyes. God.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Number 11, The Stray That Stole the Show. The Godfather opens with one of the most famous images in cinema history. Amerigo Bonacera pleads for justice, while Marlon Brando's Don Corleone sits calmly in the shadows, stroking a cat. The cat was never in the script. On the day of filming, Francis Ford Coppola found a stray wandering the Paramount lot and handed it to Brando shortly before the cameras rolled, with no rehearsal, no plan, just instinct. Brando, a lifelong animal lover, immediately made it part of the performance. A man calmly discussing violence, betrayal, and murder while gently soothing a purring creature. The contrast was perfect. Power wrapped in softness, a predator at rest. But the improvisation caused a real problem. The cat was so comfortable in Brando's lap that it purred constantly, loud enough to interfere with the dialogue recording. The sound team couldn't clean it up on set, and Brando later had to re-record much of the scene in post-production. Even so, the presence remained. The cat didn't just survive the edit, it defined the moment. That single, unplanned choice helped cement Don Corleone as something new. Not a shouting gangster, but a calm, controlled force capable of tenderness and brutality in the same breath. No animal trainers, no special effects, just a director trusting his instincts, an actor trusting the moment, and one very lucky stray cat. Sometimes cinema history is planned, and sometimes it just curls up in your lap and
Progressive makes it easy to see if you can save money with a commercial auto quote online.
takes a nap. Number 10, The Enforcer Who Wasn't Acting. In The Godfather, Luca Brasi is the man even other mobsters fear. What makes him unsettling is how little he says and how real he feels, and that wasn't an accident. The actor playing him, Lenny Montana, wasn't a trained performer. Before the movie, he was a professional wrestler, a bouncer, and a towering 6'6" presence with real connections to New York's underworld. He didn't need to imagine intimidation, he'd lived around it. Montana wasn't originally cast at all. He reportedly approached Francis Ford Coppola during production hoping for work. Coppola took one look at the giant and realized he didn't need to teach this man how to look dangerous. But here's the irony. When Montana finally stood in front of Marlon Brando, the toughest guy in the room completely unraveled. In the wedding scene, as Luca Brasi thanks Don Corleone for the invitation,
I am honored and grateful that you have invited me to your daughter's wedding.
Montana sweats, stammers, and mangles his lines. That wasn't acting. He was genuinely terrified of Brando, his idol. Most directors would have called cut, but Coppola leaned in. Instead of fixing the performance, he built the character around it, adding a moment where Luca practices his lines nervously beforehand. Suddenly, the stumble wasn't a flaw, it was respect, fear, and devotion. It made Don Corleone feel godlike, and the overlap between fiction and reality was impossible to ignore. Just before production began, real-world mob figure Joe Colombo was shot in public, a reminder that The Godfather wasn't just inspired by the streets, it was brushing right up against them. So when Luca Brasi trembles in front of the Don, you're not watching a bad performance, you're watching a dangerous man meeting someone he believes is more powerful than him, and that fear, that part was real. Number 9, the word you'll never hear. You can watch every minute of The Godfather, all 175 of them, and you'll hear about the family, the business, and coded references to organized crime. But one word, never, not once. Mafia didn't make the cut. And no, it wasn't artistic restraint, it was survival. When Paramount greenlit the film, the Italian American Civil Rights League launched an aggressive protest. The league was led by Joe Colombo, who claimed Mario Puzo's book was offensive. The pressure mounted fast. The league reportedly pressured local businesses and complicated permits. The movie was at risk before cameras even rolled. So, producer Al Ruddy met with Colombo in secret. The deal was classic Hollywood meets real-world power. Film proceeds would be donated to the league's hospital fund, and every mention of mafia or Cosa Nostra would be scrubbed from the script. Now here's the thing, some film historians argue it actually made the movie better. Not being able to name it forced Coppola to show power instead of shouting it. The Corleones felt insular, secretive, untouchable. Made men rarely used the word mafia openly. They spoke in code. The script's forced silence made the world feel authentic, and the irony was Paramount executives reportedly criticized Ruddy for negotiating with Colombo. But when the movie became a blockbuster, everyone conveniently forgot. Some mobsters even reportedly adopted the film's terminology, calling themselves Don and Godfather. Now, for Gen X, this is why The Godfather feels classier than Goodfellas or Casino. There's no shouting mafia here, just power, patience, and pure cinematic menace. Number 8, the orange.
The Orange Omen. I think ALV talks about the Orange Omen all the time. Hey, Teacher, Adam, Magooch, hope you guys are doing good. Happy, what is today? Tuesday evening. Right? Hope everybody's doing well. Had some breaking news just recently with, glad you're sharing more of the list, Osada. Thank you. Yes. I'm sure we got some people in the bushes listening since I was playing The Godfather. And by some people, you know who I'm talking about. Rhymes with, let me see here, Weendu and Hami. You know, they're probably hanging out in the bushes. It's their favorite movie. I'm sure ALV's out there somewhere. He's not happy until someone goes down. Yep. There, speaking of, there's one of them right there. What's up, Tommy? Hello. Now I told those guys that I was going to be playing some more of that video. Yeah, well, let's do the orange one, and then we'll get into it.
Orange Omen, when fruit meant trouble. In The Godfather, even something as harmless as an orange can feel like a warning. Bright citrus keeps showing up right before things go bad. A splash of color in a world that usually lives in shadow. And here's the thing, nobody planned it. Well, not at first anyway. Production designer Dean Tavoularis used oranges for one reason. They looked good against all that brown and gold. As he put it, they knew the film wasn't going to be about bright colors, and oranges made a nice visual contrast. No symbolism, no hidden meaning, just set dressing. But then the movie came together and a pattern showed up whether anyone intended it or not. At Jack Waltz's dinner table, a bowl of oranges sits in frame while he's sharing a meal with Tom Hagen. Not long after, there's a horse head in his bed. Vito Corleone stops at a street fruit stand to buy oranges, and moments later, he's gunned down. The fruit tumbles across the pavement as his body hits the ground. At the meeting of the five families, fruit bowls line the table, including oranges, surrounded by men whose fates are already sealed. And then there's Vito's final scene. He's playing with his grandson in the garden, cutting an orange and fitting the rind over his teeth to make a silly monster face. The kid laughs, Vito collapses. Heart attack. Gone. Every single one of those moments, all from the first film. Coppola himself later admitted in his
Teammate, I need your support.
I don't play video games. What's going on, Thindu? I don't play video games. My buddy started ranting and raving about this one day. My buddy in Arizona. Oh, I bought this game, dude. You got to play it. I was like, I don't even have a fucking PS5. I got a PS4. I gave it to my granddaughter. I don't even have a video game system. Never played this game. He talked about it one time. We talked about it for like an hour. Oh, dude, you got to play it. Now this commercial's on fucking nonstop.
his director's commentary for part 2 that the whole thing started as an accident. They didn't realize how often oranges had shown up until after the movie was finished, but once they noticed the pattern, Coppola leaned into it, using the motif intentionally throughout part 2 and 3. So the oranges went from happy coincidence to deliberate storytelling tool, and the audience cracked the code somewhere in between. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Watch the movie again. That fruit stand will never look innocent. All right, we're halfway through this countdown, so I have a quick question for you. How many times have you actually watched The Godfather all the way through? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, tell us which scene still...
Oh, I can answer that all the way through without stopping. 0. If I'm Tommy or Thindu, 9,752 times. Probably like, what is that, a 3-hour movie? They've probably seen it twice in one day, some of those guys, I bet. I mean, Tommy will drive around and watch it while he's driving. You know what I mean? 100 times, he says. Sweet Tea and Donna, hello, hello. I was just watching a series on Hulu called Memory of a Killer. So good. Patrick Dempsey and Michael Imperioli are in it. You know, Patrick Dempsey owned Tully's Coffee, which was one of my favorite coffees for a while. I don't even think it exists anymore. Maybe it does. But they had Tully's here in Seattle. And he was co-owner of it. So, speaking of which, Sweet Tea sent me a bunch of coffee, which I really appreciate. That was awesome. I had no idea. Went to go see if my chocolate came today, which it did. And there's another box there from somewhere. And yeah, there was like 7 boxes of coffee in there. So different bags of coffee. It was like Christmas. So I busted open the Dunkin' Donuts, and it's awesome. They're all whole bean too, which is cool. So I think they all are. So I could grind them up myself. So thank you for that, Sweet Tea. I appreciate that. Thindu says, shut up. My kids had to watch it before they were even in kindergarten. Oh my goodness. Wow. What? Tommy, did they make the teacher an offer she couldn't refuse? That's funny. My kids had to watch Goodfellas as an educational video. That's freaking hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, we'll watch some more of those in a minute, but we are all gathered here this evening to, I think, celebrate. I mean, I think this is the best case scenario. It's what I've been saying that Trump should do, is just get the hell out of there, capitulate, take your losses, and just go. Is it gonna end up working that way? Who knows? But that's what we got tonight. He woke up saying we're going to end. Well, he, not us. None of us want to do it. Basically, just threatening to nuke Iran. We're going to end that civilization as we know it, whatever the hell he said. You know what I mean? And then the Easter tweet. I had Goodfellas on a loop on the basement TV. It would just keep repeating over and over again. That's awesome. Let me pull up the 10-point Iran agreement. And so Trump agreed to this. I don't think that he wanted the agreement to come out, but Iran posted it. So this is what it is. Whether this holds or not, who's to say? Number one, commitment to non-aggression. And this is Iran says the U.S. agreed to this, remember. So we agreed to no more aggression, continuation of Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz. So they have full control over that, which they have had all along. They can charge tolls or whatever they want to do. Number three, acceptance of uranium enrichment. Wait a minute. What? I thought you guys stopped them from ever having a nuclear weapon again. I thought that was the whole thing. We cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We're willing to risk every soldier we have for this. That's where they were going with that. And now, all of a sudden, acceptance of uranium enrichment. Okay, so now they can have a bomb. That's not a big deal anymore. What this means is that we lost, and I've been saying this. Dean Deuce funny. We lost this war, and we deserve to lose this war. We were never going to win. But yeah, so he has agreed to allow them to enrich uranium. So that's not making a weapon, but that is a shortcut to a nuclear weapon. That's 80% of it. But like Bob Lazar said on Joe Rogan the other day, having the ability to deliver it 4,000 miles, good luck with that. That's a different story. And number 4 is lifting all primary sanctions. Lifting all secondary sanctions. Termination of all UN Security Council resolutions. Termination of all Board of Governors resolutions. Payment of compensation to Iran. And you're talking about a lot of money for what? I mean, they just were continually bombing for a month with the B-52s. How much is that going to cost? Withdrawal of U.S. combat forces from the region. From the region. Not from Iran, from the region. Meaning leave the Middle East. And sorry, I can't see the chat. I'll get to the chat as soon as I'm done with this. Cessation of war on all fronts, including against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Okay. So this is the U.S., but this doesn't mean Israel, right? It doesn't mean Israel is going to agree to this. But this is what Trump agreed to. So let me rewind and get back up here. Get our troops home, yes. So Iran posted, and of course we're going to believe Iran. Yeah, no, this is legit, Adam. This is the agreement. So they can sell it to another country for weapons. Well, I don't think that they're going to be worried too much about, they don't need, here's the thing. They just proved they don't need nuclear weapons. I don't think Iran has any interest in bombing the United States unless we were to continue to bomb them. Why would they? They don't have any, they're a superpower. Then they're going to be, now they're going to be it's not going to be funny how much of a power they're going to be now. but they're completely capable of defending themselves. They proved it. They killed a bunch of our American soldiers, and they get, Trump rolled the dice, and he went in there and he lost bad. Some of our service members were killed. We don't even 13, I think, is the official number, but I think it's a lot more than that. Who knows? And we're going to stop them from ever making bombs. And it's on paper now. No, you're not. We are allowed to enrich uranium. And not only that, it's worse. I mean, it's worse than when we started. Like, we have to leave the region, the entire Middle East. So Iran, and now all the sanctions are lifted. These guys are going to become a mega superpower, they're going to be it. Persia rules the globe again, I guess. I don't know how that works, but that's if Israel, Israel's not going to stand for that. So, and with National Terrorist Attack Week coming, it's just a perfect storm for something to happen. What is Israel going to do about this? And I think Pakistan is the one that helped bring this agreement to the table. Let's listen to this.
Well, the Israelis, for what they know so far with the details in this 2-week delay in the war, they're not too happy with the details, but they say it's President Trump's decision to make. The Iranian response was to fire another missile at Israel. It wasn't 5 minutes from the time that Truth Social post went up that our phones lit up with another incoming missile. This missile was intercepted over Jerusalem. The shrapnel came down. We've got no word of any injuries. It should be noted that word had gone out through the IDF that we should anticipate a lot of missile fire tonight, and they have not taken that down yet. So that's a situation right now. Sometimes we see here in the Middle East that they will fire one just to be defiant at the end, but it's also possible that word hadn't gotten out to the rocket crew. Laura?
Hold on one sec, guys. Dude's funny. Yeah, well, is it too late to think Trump went off the deep end? It's too late. I think Trump went off the deep end. Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe crazy, but I think Trump knows something this term he didn't know last time he was president. Mossada, what you say is true. I feel we're letting the beginning of the end happen. The uranium, to sell, so they can sell it to another country for their weapons. Yeah, the uranium. Who knows, exactly what the real, like they definitely need uranium. They need uranium for to power the AI data centers for sure. So that I think that has. I don't really think that nuclear weapons has anything to do with any of this. I think it's just, they don't want to come out and say that they're willing to kill people for, cheaper energy to run the data centers. Because how else are they going to run these massive data centers? I think that's what it's all about, really. I don't know. It's all very confusing. But, we're waking up to every day to just more and more just chaos with those tweets. And, so I think that this is the best case scenario. I don't think we know the full details yet, but, 2-week ceasefire. But these are the details behind that, which that really doesn't sound like a 2-week ceasefire. That sounds like a capitulation to me. We surrender, basically. As we should, because, we're going to lose. What are we going to do? Even a nuclear bomb is not going to work on Iran. It's not going to work. And if you guys seen, they lined up, because Trump threatened to bomb the bridges and whatever the fuck else he planned on. He threatened to bomb over there. All the women and children lined up on the bridges today. So what are you going to do? Bomb all the women and children? Where's that at?
Of several power plants in Iran. You are looking at these images. They're jarring to look at, Lisa, because I think Emily made a very key point here. At least in one video that we've seen, we have two that we've been playing. This is entirely women. This is children. These are the most vulnerable members of Iranian society and those who are targeted most. And that is who you are circling around your plant, your women and your children.
Well, Kaylee, think about the juxtaposition between what we're seeing here and what President Trump and the United States military just did to rescue two of our military men behind enemy lines. President Trump said no man left behind.
You know, when I look at that and, you know, this is allegedly these guys are on the bridge like that, all I see is BLM, LGBTQ, you know, Free Palestine. It's all the same people. And I always say that. The Proud Boys, it's all, they just wear costumes. They go to Spirit Halloween. You know, Spirit Halloween's open to the public August through October. And then these guys use it for their crisis acting and their government propaganda the rest of the year. I mean, that's really what that looks like to me. Do we even really think that that's in Iran? You know what I mean? That's probably behind the Fox News studio. That everybody that works there just put on a burqa, you know, and hold some, you know, Arabic sign. That's what it looks like to me. It looks just like Kabuki Theater. Yeah, he's setting up his family's personal wealth this term. That's for sure. That they for sure are doing, you know. Fucking us and setting up their family wealth, you know. And it would be fine if that, you know, they all made, you know, billions of dollars. If he was making, you know, all of us, you know, bringing back the middle class and doing what he said he was going to do, no one would care. You know, we'd be all for it. We'd be like, he deserves that money. Look what he did for our country. But now, you know, there's lots of us that, you know, me personally, and I know, you know, everybody has their own opinions about Trump, but look at what he did, like what he said about Rob Reiner when he died, and now everything that he's doing, he got our service members killed. Like, you know, I mean, I don't even want to speak what I want to happen to Trump. I don't even want to say I don't want to go to jail, you know, but I'm just going to laugh when it happens. I'm going to laugh. I can't wait till something bad happens to him. You know, that's how much I hate Trump. I'm over him. There's nothing he can ever, I don't give a fuck he tries to give us money or what. He is a fucking pig, man. The Epstein files and all that shit. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck him. Fuck all his kids. Fuck his mother. Fuck his whole family. Fuck his grandfather, his grandmother. Fuck all of his employees. Fuck all the Republicans. Fuck that entire fucking government, man. Fuck all of them. That's what I say. And we're still going to pay fucking $6-7 a gallon for gas. The motherfuckers. Yeah, fuck Trump. Fuck that motherfucker, man. But at least he capitulated, you know. At least, you know, and he can say he's going to try to spin it however he wants. But, you know, at least hopefully it's over for now. But to be honest with you, the most likely scenario, especially with terrorist attack week coming up, you know, there's going to be a lot of people probably on Poly Market. I bet you there's a bet if there's going to be a terrorist attack on U.S. soil by April 20th. I could probably see a bet like that. It's probably 50-50. You know, and in Iran is sneaky. Look at some of the shit they did. You know, look at how they killed Charlie Kirk or Israel with the exploding microphone, or they killed all those people in Iran with exploding pagers. So imagine that. Imagine, you know, we're all just sitting around on YouTube and all of a sudden all of our cell phones and fucking laptops blow up or some bullshit. You never know. BLM plus Proud Boys equals Jacobs. Yes, it does. Yes, they do. Jesus Christ, take it easy. Yeah. Oh, I got super worked up today. You don't even know. I'm over all this shit. I'm fucking pissed. I do. Hey, teacher, right? Fuck everybody in his family. Fuck all those people. Fuck his whole family tree. Fuck Mar-a-Lago. Fuck his family tree. Fuck his hotels, his casinos. Fuck everything about Trump. Those people were right. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? This is how bad it is, guys. Where's he at? Where's my boy? You're back. You're back in my graces, Robert De Niro. Love you. Fucking love you.
150%. Yeah. But when the crowds are chanting "No Kings," what I'm really hearing, as we all know, is "No Trump."
That's right.
There have been other presidents who have tested the constitutional limits of their power, but none have been such an existential threat to our freedoms and security. None, except Trump. He must be stopped, and he must be stopped now. Amen. And that's what No Kings is all about, because he can't do all the fucked up things that he's been doing without the collusion of Congress and the goons in his administration. They're bound to him.
What is this Uncle Integrity that I keep hearing about? Who is Uncle Integrity? Bill C., hello. Rob De Niro hates Trump because Donald Trump screwed him out of a business deal. It has nothing to do with politics. Well, I'm with Robert De Niro now. I'm 100% with him when it comes to fuck Trump. Like totally. I mean, I hate that motherfucker with every fiber in my body. What is this Uncle Integrity I keep hearing you guys talk about? That's not the same as the Uncle Badass that you play on your show, is it? Who's Uncle Integrity? Anybody know who these guys are talking about, Uncle Integrity? But yeah, and I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. You know, that's how much I fucking hate Trump's guts. He's such a fucking lying piece of shit. You know, he's done nothing for us. He's ruining this country, and he's putting all of our lives at risk. You know, we're gonna get fucking bombed and shit by Israel because of this whole fucking mess. It's like he half-stepped everybody into fucking like chaos and a civil war. I don't know. It's weird, man. Fuck that motherfucker. Uncle Badass is funny. It's sarcasm from MRE. MRE calls Edwin Uncle Integrity. Oh, I see. Let me see if I can do my Edwin impression. Dindu was just blowing up the text line. What did he put this time? More pictures. This fucking guy. Hey, I'm sorry. It's the Balls and Strikes Network over here. I'd just be a lying piece of shit if I didn't tell you guys exactly how I feel. And that's how I feel. Fuck Trump. I'll piss on his fucking grave if they would let us close enough to it when he dies. Fuck him. And everybody's, you know what? Everybody is going to laugh when he dies. They're going to tweet, ha ha, he's fucking dead. Fuck him. Fuck his mother. Because that's what he does to everybody. I mean, how could you not expect anybody to do that to him when he literally does that to everybody? You know, he's such a disgrace, that fucking guy. Fuck him. Anyway, we'll move on. Let me get back up to the top. Yes, and you know, Joe Kent, he's the counterterrorism guy that resigned because our own FBI said you're not allowed to investigate Israel being involved in Charlie Kirk's death, is what it comes down to. And so this guy would know, and he's the guy that wanted to investigate Israel being involved in Charlie Kirk's death. They wouldn't let him, so he quit. And now he's ousting the government. And he's telling us we need to be careful of the Israelis because of this. So I think we should listen.
Great news this evening that there's been a 2-week ceasefire agreed upon tentatively between us and the Iranians. It's unconfirmed yet if the Iranians have accepted this deal as well, but I hope that they have. It's absolutely essential that we ensure that the Israelis do not sabotage this 2-week ceasefire or eventually the lasting peace that we're trying to achieve with the Iranians. We're on the cusp of being able to have the Strait of Hormuz reopened to hopefully start to get the world energy supply and commerce back online. The last thing we need is the Israelis doing what they have done in past negotiations and targeting the negotiators or taking a series of strikes that escalates the conflict. In order to ensure that we can restrain the Israelis, we actually have to start removing features of the military support that we give to them. We have to take away enough from them that they simply cannot go on the offense, that they're using all their military capabilities that we provide for them and that they have organically for the defense of their country and not for offensive operations inside of Iran. It's absolutely critical that we take this step and don't just take Israel's word for it, that they agree to this ceasefire simply because they have a very bad track record of adhering to these deals.
We all know what he's trying to say. Grateful. Hello. Good to see you. You concur. Mossada, I don't disagree with you. I'm just wondering and curious, who do you think would do a better job? Oh, well, there's nobody, Adam. It's not, the thing is that's why we're all so mad. It's because, we all know that these guys are all just lying pieces of shit, but we believe Trump and, we believed in him. And your attention is the most valuable thing you can ever give anyone. And you can never get that back. That's time wasted. And we all gave our valuable attention to this and promoted him. And a lot of us, it cost us financially with our businesses and at our jobs and friendships and all kinds of shit. And he's a backstabber. Every president is a liar, They all are, of course, but not on this level. Not on this level. This is it's unbelievable what that guy has done to this country. Fuck him, man. Can't wait for him to be gone. Flush that motherfucker down the toilet. Somebody just shit on him already and let's just move on, Use his orange hair to wipe your ass. And just fuck him, man. Fuck that motherfucker. Not his father, Mossada. He gave my partner a new condo in Queens. All right, well, we'll give the father a pass. But we're not giving his kids a pass, because they're over there mining the crypto and manipulating the markets and making all this money. They're just a bunch of, Steven pricks, those guys. That whole lot. Just a bunch of dirty motherfuckers. So we've seen that one. What would you do if you had a mountain lion stalking you? This is for Tommy, for his anxiety.
Get back.
I just like to play random videos once in a while. Dindu says yes. All right, what else do we have here? Shaquille O'Neal is crying because he doesn't tell his women, all his hoes, about his problems because men are supposed to be men.
Who takes care of Shaquille O'Neal?
Nobody. Take care of myself. Like I caught flack one time. I was on this young lady's podcast and she said, do you express your emotion to your woman? I said, no. Why would I do that? Oh, and they tried to kill me. But I don't. And the reason why, because as a man, you are to protect, provide, and love. And women are emotional and caring. So if I'm telling her I have a bad day, now it's two people with bad days. I don't tell my woman I'm having a bad day. How's your day? I'm good, baby. I got to take care of it. Because if you put stress on her, she's going to put it right back on you. Because it's our job to protect, provide, and love. But people, oh, you need it. No, I don't do that. I take care of everything, and that's just how it's going to be. And you know why I'm like that? Because it's worked for me. It's worked for me. So I'm not going to meet somebody now and be like, oh, no, not doing that.
Who takes care of Shaquille O'Neal?
Nobody. Take care of myself.
No, I didn't discuss I'm not going to discuss the scientists today, Grateful. I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow morning when I do my show, I'll put that one on there. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's super interesting. And that happens all the time. You know, that's one of the things about our government, man. They're just murdering, you know, the real government, the deep state. It's what they do. They just go around and use people, and then they get rid of them. But yeah, thank you for I'll play that tomorrow. Shaquille has to wipe away his bad days. Shaquille has money to wipe away his bad days. His money, yeah, exactly. Shaq, what's up, Stoney? Shaquille helps a lot of people from what the tabloids say and show. Yeah, I don't follow all that. I don't know. I just came across that video. I thought I'd play it. Andrew Tate, he's always got hot takes. And I kind of agree with him on this one.
All three of these countries are winning, domestically controlling their populations more than ever before. And it is for this reason that I believe this war is largely theater. I believe that this is pre-planned theater. At the top, it would be asinine to believe that it is impossible that USA, Israel, and Iran got on a fucking phone call and said, let's talk about how this is going to go down. You need to look good. I need to look good. You need to look good. We all need to look good. So Trump, you get to take out our nuclear facilities because you know what? We're not going to make a nuclear bomb anyway. So if you want to bomb this empty crater somewhere in the mountains, you get to bomb it and look like a tough guy. We can't look like pussies after. So we have to retaliate. So we're going to retaliate against one of your air bases. This air base over here. Please, evacuate the air base in advance.
I think we all know what he's saying there. Shaquille is doing some great things around here. Right on. That's cool. But yeah, no, I agree with what Andrew Tate says here, that it's all orchestrated to destabilize the population. And that's exactly what's happening to us. I mean, let's just say not one more bomb is dropped by anybody. And even let's say Israel does nothing. They just are like, okay, we're good. How long is it going to take for us to even get back to where we were at before this started? For how much it's costing all of us. I don't even want to go do anything right now. I don't want to go drive anywhere because, I have an 8-cylinder. It's like, fuck. I have no desire to just waste money on gas right now because of this shit. It just, it's so fucked up. Elon, remember when he was with Doge and he was all up in the White House and Doge was discovering all the waste, abuse, and the fraud. And that's when we were going to be doing so great and all that. Well, then they had the falling out. And then Elon tweeted this back in June. Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not made it public. Have a nice day. And then a little while later, he wrote, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. So, we don't want to forget about all that stuff, Whatever happened with Elon and all that, there's something to it. You know, we need to put all these pieces together, and then it'll all make sense eventually. Did they cancel this evening's attack? Well, the United States capitulated. Donald Trump said, if you missed that, we played that earlier, Grateful. There's the 10-point agreement right here. We commit to non-aggression. This is a 2-week agreement, but it's more than that. This is actually the concession of the war. But they're saying it's for 2 weeks. Iran gets control of the Strait. We allow them to enrich uranium. All of the sanctions that have been put upon them and resolutions are lifted. We pay back all the money that it cost that we bombed. We withdraw all of our troops from everywhere in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, everywhere. Leave, all of them, gone. And we quit fighting everybody over there, including Hezbollah in Lebanon. So that's what we've agreed to for 2 weeks. Yes. Here's one for the Italians in the group. I came across this video. I don't know where it came from, but it says, in Italy, there's a beautiful idea called the pleasure of doing nothing. To sit quietly, drink your coffee, and live the moment without rushing. A simple reminder, sometimes rest itself is happiness. So let's play this video. Kind of reminds me of maybe Gianni or Magooch sitting there.
In Italy, there's a philosophy of life called dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. It's about being with yourself in a moment of inner peace and truly enjoying every detail, even the simplest ones. Like having your morning coffee in silence, or sitting alone with your thoughts, looking up at the sky and feeling a moment of gratitude. No noise, no people around you, and no need to explain or justify anything. It's about giving yourself a pause. Slowing down, it means recharging, reconnecting, is to observe, to feel, to experience everything calmly at your own pace and finding your way back to yourself. And honestly, it's a moment we all need. Is dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. In Italy, all
How do they say that?
need is dolce far niente.
Dolce far niente.
It's a moment we all need. Is dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing.
The sweetness of doing nothing. I'll catch up on the chat, guys. I have to go use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. I'm going to play one more scene from The Godfather. I'm going to go refill my coffee. Well, not a scene, but you know, the facts.
Still gives you chills every single time. And if you're enjoying this countdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps to keep these Remember When deep dives coming. All right, let's get back to the family business with number 7, the Sinatra connection, Johnny Fontane versus the chairman of Cool. For decades, The Godfather carried one of Hollywood's most persistent rumors, that Johnny Fontane wasn't just a character, he was Frank Sinatra. The parallels were hard to miss. Fontane is a crooner whose career stalls, then miraculously rebounds after some unseen muscle leans on the right people. Sinatra's own career hit a low point in the early 50s before roaring back with From Here to Eternity, a comeback long surrounded by whispers of mob influence. Those whispers were never proven, and Sinatra denied them for the rest of his life. But when Mario Puzo introduced Johnny Fontane, the resemblance was close enough to make people nervous, especially Sinatra himself. Before filming even began, Puzo later claimed Sinatra.
You know, with AI,
you can create any character you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets,
complex software, and tons of time.
But right now, all you need is a laptop
and knowledge of the best AI tools out there.
It'll cost you practically nothing, and it doesn't require any subscriptions.
In just 2 days, we'll show you how to unlock the most advanced AI filmmaking and content creation tools without having to pay a cent in overpriced subscriptions. With these tools, you'll learn how to create scroll-stopping videos that rack up millions of views, craft wildly profitable online ads that blow up your brand, and turn any creative idea into a powerful short film that looks like it belongs on the big screen. But it's not just AI filmmaking that you're going to learn. With AI, you can create any image or graphic that you can imagine. You can create full-blown viral YouTube thumbnails in seconds. Your website, emails,
Hopefully that commercial wasn't playing too long, guys. Sorry about that. I was afraid that was going to happen. All right, let me catch back up on the chat here real quick. You're not alone, Adam. And yes, Magooch is right. They were hidden. They haven't arrived in time. They weren't there. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Noam's husband. Magooch always going to think you're a great person, but when it comes to Donald Trump, people go to guilty before proving innocent. Everyone, you're innocent until proven guilty. I don't believe Trump is in the Epstein files. I believe he promised the Queen of England that he'd protect her son, as well as others, children, including his own. He promised the Queen that he'd protect her son, as well as others' children's, including his own. Trump promised Queen Elizabeth that he'd protect King Charles from being outed in the Epstein files. That's possible. There's an art to not giving a fuck. That's true. Is that Como? I'm not sure. Why is it so hard to see my comments? Oh, Prince Andrew. Sorry, guys, I was eating something real quick. Yeah, it's possible. He got arrested and then released, right? He got arrested for something and then they released him, like they questioned him or something. I don't know. Here's how I'm excuse me. Here's how I'm going to do it from now on when it comes to politics. And Stoney's right. There's an art to not giving a fuck about it. But, you know, like with this, we all have to kind of care because we're about to go to nuclear war. You know, I'll love Trump one day and hate him the next. I have no loyalty to politicians anymore at all. Not at all. I'm going to use them like the dirty bitches that they are. You know, you get elected as a politician, you work for us and you do what you're told and that's it. You know, I'm never going to rah for those guys. If he does something good, cool. And if he does something bad, fuck him. I'm not one of those people that are like just am blindly going to follow him no matter what. Fuck that. He's just a disaster. He is a complete, I can't stand him. I can't fucking stand Trump. I'm not saying anything bad about anyone until I can find someone better to run this country and have any opinions. I'm all yours. No, I agree with that, Adam. I mean, like, that's the problem, right? Yeah, it's easy to bitch and say, oh, you know, he sucks. But what is the alternative? And I don't think, you know, it's not like we all made a mistake. You know, we didn't all make a mistake by voting for him. And I played that video earlier of Kamala. I don't know if you were here for that one. I'm not sure if it's on here or not. Let me see. Yeah, where's Benjamin Netanyahu in all this? He's definitely got to be dead. Hold on. I think it was the one from yesterday. I know I got it here somewhere. Maybe it was the day before. Here, I'll type it in.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
Well, there are different reasons that we should be thoughtful about each. Most recently, I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. And look, I mean, Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? And what we saw in terms of just this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles, what we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
So if you
And
have
that must
proof
be.
that Iran is building a nuclear weapon, would you take military action?
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals at this moment.
Let's hit on some more foreign policy.
There's a bug in here.
So we would have got exactly the same thing. Exactly. So in the dog and pony show that is the presidency, they are allowed to impose their own free will on probably certain things, but not very much. That war with Iran was not one of them. You know, that playbook was going down either way. So that's why when I see those videos like that Andrew Tate puts out, and somebody thinking outside the box, like I tend to agree with that. Because most people think like USA, Iran, Israel is the top of the food chain. It's the countries, and then that's it. But, you know, no one ever thinks about who runs the countries, you know, and is there people out there that run all three countries? You know, you talk about the banking systems. All Iran, the United States, and Israel all use the same bank. They are all ran through the world banking system. So that alone just shows you that something, it's just all bullshit. Let's see here. Andrew is released, Magooch, but he's been disgraced and under suicide. Really? That's the reason why I'm angry, because there's no one better. I'm going to direct my anger on one man called Donald Trump. Well, the thing is, Adam, it's, you know, and, you know, I just get a little carried away when I'm like, fuck him, fuck his mother, fuck the family tree. You know, people know me. I just get carried away with that shit. And I'll say I love what Trump did if he does something good. But we're all mad. But we're not blaming each other. And we're not mad at each other. And the people that want to be mad at us for voting for Trump, fuck them, because it would have been the same thing with Kamala Harris. It would have been worse. I would literally have already jumped off a bridge if we had to deal with the same bullshit and it was Kamala Harris as president, because we all would have been sitting here thinking, you know, we had Trump right there, and then, you know, the whole world's fucked. We probably would have all just jumped off a bridge by now, you know. So it's not our fault, you know, and we're all pissed off. But Magooch, if people beat me up the way they had beat him up when he was first president, and I had a chance to become president again, boy, will I get even with y'all? Maybe that's what he's doing. Not a Trump man. I am an economy fan. Heck yes, Adam. I think he reverses everything, and anything Obama did, he comes off as a 5-year-old. Sorry guys, my chat thing. I can only see like 2 chats at a time. I don't know what is wrong with my stupid computer here. Oh, let me see. There we go. There we go. StreamYard had sent out some type of thing, and it took up this big blue block, and it was eating up half my screen. That's fine, but take care of working people and support the country that got him back. Yes. You also have an open mind. Yes, I try to. You seem to consider all the angles. Yes, I do. You know. Yeah, because we don't really know. You know what I mean? We can speculate. We don't really know what's what. Whether you get your information from the mainstream media or Alex Jones or this general or that general. I mean, we just, who fucking knows? So you got to keep an open mind. Let me get back to my bookmarks. Let's see here. What else do we have to talk about? Greta Thunberg. You know, she's one of those people, we all know who she is, right? The climate change activist. She was on the flotilla. Greta Thunberg, we all know who she is. The climate activist. But is she even a real person, this girl? You know, but she has some choice words for Trump. One can't help but get frustrated. So much smoke and mirrors. Yes. I'm a little confused on that one. Last I checked, unemployment was lower now than it has been almost in any other president. Yeah, because they're firing everybody. You know, they're firing. We're losing entire industries to AI. Right? I mean, there's lots of things that you can become an expert at things that would cost lots of money to hire somebody. Artists, for example. I need somebody to design me a business card. I remember when I started a business, it was called Integrity Residential on the military base. Me and my buddy were maintaining out units. And we got this, it's a long story. It didn't last very long. Sorry, I'm eating some more Butterfinger, which I shouldn't even be eating it in the first place. But I need to get our business card. I paid somebody to do the business card. You don't need to pay anybody to design a business card now. You just ask the AI to do it. You know, and it come out. You can even say, like, give me 10 different ideas for a business card. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? And I need legal advice. I need real estate advice. I need, you know, make me an expert on how to do my taxes. Anything like that you can do. The world's changed. Butterfingers are the best thing. Chocolate bars. Yeah, and it's not even the bar itself. I buy these bags at $16 at the restaurant supply store, and it's a big, like, how big is it? I think it's like 2.5 pounds of crushed up Butterfinger. I don't know if it's just like their leftovers or what, but I buy those. I buy Kit Kat and Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. They sell all of those. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup's like $30. So, and it comes in a big bag, and it's just all mashed up already. So I use it for my bark. Or cheesecakes. Like I do a Butterfinger cheesecakes, and I take milk chocolate and I just smash all that Butterfinger into it and then break it up once it hardens and sell it as bark. And you know what I want to do? You know what else I want to do too? Because the last time I've bought it a few times, but the last time I did it, and which is what I'm eating now, I sifted it all through the colander. because I don't like the fine powder on my bark. It just ends up taking up all the space that the big chunks could lay on, and then you're just not even getting that much flavor of the Butterfinger. So I sift all that out, and that's what I was eating. It's just all the little tiny pieces, the little tiny pieces, like the powder. But I could put that in a milkshake. I bet that would be freaking awesome. A Butterfinger powdered milkshake instead of like malt powder. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Let's get back to sex trafficking. Although still bad, sex trafficking, although still bad, is down tremendously since he's become president. Again, now you know. Well, I don't know if that's true, Adam. I would hope so. I would like to believe that. You know, do we really know what's going on with people being trafficked, kids being trafficked around the world? The whole thing is just bizarre. You know, there should be no kids being trafficked, but yet we come to find out that there's entire global networks of kids being trafficked for what? We don't even know what for. Maybe for sex, for the androchrome, where they, you know, the Monsters Inc. thing, where they have to scare the shit out of the kids and then they excrete the adrenaline. I mean, either way, it's fucking disgusting. I would hope it's down, but crushed up Butterfinger, that'd be great sprinkled on a candy you make. Yes, it is. It is very good. It's highly addictive. You give anything to try one of my cheesecakes? Thank you. Yeah, the cheesecakes are a lot of fun. You know, and all my cheesecakes are no bake. I just use different store-bought. You know, I'll tell you what, the best cheesecake, in my opinion, unless you're going to make it from scratch, is the Walmart. It's only sold at Walmart in the Philadelphia cream cheese section. They have a pre-made cheesecake in a tub, and it's for like $6, and it can make 6 of the cheesecakes that I do. That stuff is top notch. I do want to bake some cheesecakes one of these days and try it that way. But yeah, cheesecakes, cupcakes, loaf cakes, all that. I was on my show earlier this morning. I was saying I had all those extra cupcakes. Well, then my daughter hit me up and I had to take my granddaughter to school today. So I was like, you know what? I'll just take the cupcakes to those guys. So I had 40 cupcakes left over. So I took them all to the school and gave them to the kids and the teachers. So they were happy. Yes, I bought that over the holidays, that cheesecake stuff. Oh, nice. From the Philadelphia stuff. Right on. Now I'm going to get 3 Dove's chocolates. I used to have a serious problem with Dove chocolate. I don't buy chocolate anymore because I do chocolate. I didn't even really realize it until you said something. I never buy it because I always have chocolate laying around. But yeah, Dove makes a really good creamy chocolate for sure. If I was going to buy chocolate, that'd probably be what I bought too. Yeah, cheesecake is amazing. Now I'm going to get, we have that one. They make caramel filled ones now. Oh, yum. $9 a bag. Yeah, chocolate is so expensive. You know, I quit making like M&M. I used to do M&M pretzels, and I still do once in a while because the pretzels don't take very many M&Ms. But the caramel apples, I won't do M&M caramel apples. It's not worth it. The M&Ms are so expensive. I don't want to give my money to Hershey's like that. It's insane how much they charge for that stuff. Anyway, let's see what Greta Thunberg's saying.
The president of the United States just said that a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. And no one is reacting. This speaks for itself. What the fuck is anyone even doing at this point? We have normalized genocide, total annihilation of entire people, the systematic destruction of the biosphere, which we are all depending on to survive, and that corrupt, racist war criminals can act with complete impunity. But even though we have allowed far too much so far, it is not too late to say stop. If we don't, we shouldn't fucking be able to call ourselves human. The president.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what she is. Like I said, is she even real? You know, she must be like one of the stepchildren of the Rothschilds or something. Like, I just don't know. I don't know how to take that lady. You guys can't be talking about the desserts at this time of night. You're going to put me in the refrigerator, right, Adam? The incinerator's going to town. Ecological killers. Yeah, Hershey sucks. She's paid like Tyler Robinson. Definitely. Yeah, she's definitely not legit. That's for sure. You know, and like, how old is she? She's probably like 63 years old. She's just somebody that looks young, you know. So weird. So Mark Milley, General Mark Milley, and Anthony Fauci, most people think should be put in prison, but Trump decided to give them awards today. Today, President Trump awarded presidential commendations to the below individuals in recognition of their exceptional efforts on Operation Warp Speed. General Mark Miller, Secretary Alex Azar, Secretary Alex Azar, Jared Kushner, which is his handler and the real president of the United States now that Bibi's dead. Dr. Monsuf, I don't know who these people are. So he gave, and it's down here, Dr. Anthony Fauci. He gives an award to Anthony Fauci. Oh, this was issued. What the fuck? This says it was issued on January of 2021. Let's just forget that fucking one. Gavin Newsom's wife told a weird story about killing her 7-year-old, or killing her sister with a golf cart when she was 7.
I mean, I had to be very raw when we interviewed the young men who were juvenile offenders in San Quentin. I told them about my own loss, where I lost my older sister a few days before my 7th birthday, and I blamed myself for her death. And I share that because that they ultimately were accused of committing these violent crimes and sentenced for life. And I think it shocked them that this, blonde lady who was, interviewing them had a similar story, was perhaps in the wrong place at the wrong time, but wasn't punished the way they were, because clearly it was an accident, but theirs was probably an accident too. So anyway, I share that just because I guess, I quite enjoy spending time with people and being real and unmasking and showing them that it's safe to unmask themselves.
It's very weird what she said there. First of all, the people that are in San Quentin probably didn't, it probably was not an accident. I don't know where she got that. I think maybe she has a guilty conscience about what she did when she was 7. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past me, though, with these people that are high-level government, or seek out, she's someone that sought out somebody in government to marry them. They're just psychopaths. If he gave Dr. Fauci an award, I'm convinced they have cloned Trump. Agreed. No, he does. There's probably they probably could have cloned all of those people. As far as the chocolate goes, what I heard about the chocolate with like Hershey's and stuff, that all of the major chocolate companies in the United States all use the same chocolate. It all comes from the same vats, and they just rebrand it. And I think that, I don't know, that might be oversimplifying it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that there's some truth to that. So there's a little truth in every joke. Yes, there is, for sure. Well, I mean, our government is coming out and talking about forcing humans to have sex with aliens, right? I mean, we can't make that up. don't know if you guys are here for that one. Human hybrid program.
Most important information will be the biologics that are not human, that
This was just the other day.
have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication.
And that's Matt Gaetz, who was going to be the Attorney General. He was like a congressperson for Tennessee, I believe, a representative for Tennessee. You know, and then there was Congressman Burchett. A lot of people came out. Anna Paula, Lena Luna. They're all saying that they've had security meetings with high-level military officials and CIA officials. This is what they're talking about. He goes on to say that the humans that they get forced to have sex with aliens, they get from war-torn areas and migrant caravans. You know, these people are kidnapped from war areas, and crazy times we live in. Crazy times. This is an interesting one from Kanye West.
That I know for a fact, the game Angry Birds has a motion like this. And if you remember, girls are just not known for playing a lot of video games. This game was popular with girls. It was a scientific calculation that this set off a certain dopamine specifically in the female mind. What else go like this?
Tinder. What else?
Instagram. Instagram got all y'all, because they going to do it for the gram before they do it to you. They going to send a picture to the gram before they send it to you. Social media doing more to hurt families than it is to help families, and families are the key to help. That I know for.
Yeah. Very interesting take on, you know, the devil is in the detail. You know, that little swipe, highly addictive. Kanye be dropping some knowledge. So now all of a sudden they're telling us there's aliens when they spend so many years trying to convince us that there's not. Why aren't any of us asking us that question? Well, I think this point, Adam, it's like, you know, you and I are probably close to the same age, you know, give or take. And we've had this conversation many times throughout our life with people. And it kind of gets to the point where we just don't believe anything anymore. We don't even believe what we're saying, let alone, you know what I mean? You know, maybe we should play a little bit of that right now. Grateful. Let me see if I can load it up. No, I better not. Because I just want to make sure that I don't pull up anybody's name or anything. We'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, there's all kinds of weird things that have been going on with scientists that have been working on certain things that get killed and disappear. You know, and it is, I don't know if you heard about this one, Grateful. There was Charlie Kirk's mentor. He was a guy that, you know, held a lot of secrets to this kind of what could have, you know, who could have killed Charlie Kirk. He was playing pickleball like a month ago and fell, and then 2 weeks later he died. They said from the pickleball accident. I don't know too many people that die from pickleball accidents. Or then you look at the people that try to do documentaries on sex trafficking. Anthony Bourdain, Anne Hesh, Paul Walker, dead. All of them die. That's just what happens, you know. And the one, let me see the one that I don't want to confuse myself, the one you sent me. Scientists with UFO intel go missing. Yes. And then there was also, you know, we've had a lot of debris flying through the sky over the last month. you know, especially a couple of weeks ago. You know, asteroids or whatever they are, meteors, but some of them were going up in the sky. They go upward. Some of them they actually launched military aircraft after. Some of them actually fell through people's roofs. And then one of the main guys that was working on that kind of stuff got shot on his front porch. So, and I don't know if you guys know, I Googled that, but didn't find it. Bennington and Cornell. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys seen the meteor that went through the lady's house in Texas. Meteor. I don't know how to spell that. In Houston. To the roof. I mean, it's not unusual to see meteors, of course, and then we had all of those ones that went through. Okay, where's the one where it went through her roof, though? They actually have video of where it went through this lady's roof. Let me see if I can find it on here. You guys may have already seen it. Meteor through lady's roof in Houston. Here we go.
Online Labels has everything you need to turn those ideas into finished products. From blank labels to custom printed sheets.
Well, breaking from overnight, look at this damage left behind in this one Cypress Station area home. This is after an apparent meteor crashed through the roof.
Pretty wild stuff there. Well, several people around our area, they reported hearing a loud boom and also some shaking as well. And according to NASA, it was first spotted in southwest Montgomery County yesterday afternoon before it broke apart right near Cypress Station near the North Freeway.
And ABC 13's Daniela Hurtado is live this morning with more on the close encounter one family had. Daniela, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. The loud bang spooked the James family. They say when they went to go check out to see what exactly that noise was, they realized that something came through their roof and then saw a strange rock on the ground. Sherry James tells ABC 13 she wondered if it was a meteorite and called the fire department. She says when firefighters arrived, they said it was maybe something that fell from a plane. She tells us she was unconvinced. And then to her surprise, the firemen came back to her house 20 minutes later and told her there were reports of a meteor exploding above northwest Houston, and the rock in her home may be a fragment of it.
He said, "Nani, there's a hole in the ceiling." So I come on over here and look. There's a hole in the ceiling, a big dent in the floor. Another little piece broke off in the ceiling, and there's a big rock on the floor. And it just scared me to death now.
So, I mean, if we're going to go down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole, you know, they're distracting us with all of these hypersonic missiles that are being shot back and forth in Israel and, you know, Iran and all that. Meanwhile, we have what looks like missiles being launched all over the United States and all over the globe. And then there's actually like debris fall. I think they recovered 6 different fragments. And, you know, that's not normal for that shit to go through people's roofs and stuff like that. So, and then at the same time, they keep talking about aliens. So, we don't know what to believe. It's all fucked up. And then, the way the news, you know, the way they talk about it like it's a joke. You know, it's like they know something. Or they're told, you know, it's just all a game. You know what I mean? If those people are really worried about a meteor going through somebody's roof, they would, it would be like a sense of urgency, like, hey, what's going on? And they just talk about it like there's a cat in a tree. It's all very wild. All right, do we have any more? Let me go back here. Jake Paul did ayahuasca, and he said that the metal was talking to him. And he says that just like plants, that even metal is alive. So he talks to everything in his house. I realize I'm not sharing the screen.
After doing ayahuasca, I like grab steel sometimes, or like aluminum and metal, and be like, talk to it, because it's a living object. People don't understand that metal is a living object. So that sounds fucking insane, but like, it's no different than a plant.
Yeah,
they're atoms moving around, and so I actually talk to the items in my house to like give them better energy.
Like, let me boost your spirits today, guys. I know you're a bookshelf, but you don't know what you're holding on to. You know what I'm saying? You've got everything. You've got the Crucible right here on your back. You've got all these freaking. You've got Moby Dick.
You're just carrying the Bible,
the 7 Bibles.
Like, bro,
here, Bridges of Madison
tired,
County,
bro. My bookshelf is tired, bro.
Yeah, you got Dunkirk on
you.
You
gotta talk to it.
You have no clue what you're doing. I like that. Yeah, but to boost up your fucking boys who are fucking carrying all your words around. I like that.
I boost up everything in my house, bro.
I think there might be something to that. We don't need to turn it into a psychedelic show, but I dabble in psychedelics sometimes. And DMT, you just see some crazy stuff, and there's just a lot of untapped information there. I want to do DMT again. I'm too scared. I'm getting too old for that shit. I might do it 1 or 2 more times. Remember when the government would rush a home or whatever when something odd crashed to the ground? They don't do that anymore. Yeah. Yeah, they know what it is. That's the thing, right? I mean, we can't take them seriously anymore. I mean, like that lady could just be lying. She could be just a government crisis actor that had the rock fall through her roof. You know what I mean? To convince us that it is some type of just rock, But to even what a waste of time for anybody to think that they could even figure that one out, right? I mean, my God, they obviously know what it is, and they're obviously lying to us about it, which is so frustrating. But who has time to even worry about it when we have them lying to us about the moon, and they're talking about nuclear war, and then you got to pay an extra $40 at the gas pump. It's just all fucking ridiculous. Maybe because they have stuff fall on purpose. Very possible. Do you remember when the news had to remind parents to check on their kids? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? They don't even do that anymore. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, they would do the street light thing and all that. When kids' parents would go to bed and let us stay up. Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. Gavin White, we already seen that. I think that's pretty much all the videos that I have today. I really just kind of wanted to come on, and I mean, it is honestly, this is, I would honestly say that this is good news. And number 3, I don't think is a big deal, honestly. And I think Andrew Tate is onto something, that it's all a big game anyways, and that Israel and Iran and the U.S. at the very top of it are in on it together for energy reasons. But I think this is the best case scenario, and hopefully it stands. Quit fighting, let Iran be Iran, and we can concentrate on being us. I think that we learned, at least the government learned a lot from this, that they're not as badass as they think they are. They have a lot to improve on. Come home and let's fucking lick our wounds and get back to work. And, let's see here. So, yeah. Adam, then they'd have on werewolf movies and The Thing on late Friday. Oh, yeah, we already did that one. Glad you came on, Mossada. Great comments and chat. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. The thing is, even the smallest person can't claim to know what's going on because they're not telling us the truth. We don't get any real news anymore. Did we ever? No, we didn't. Not in our lifetime. What are the capital letters representing here? Not sure. What capital letters? C, call. Okay, what are the... let's see here. Come. See. Oh, let me see here. Caps of each entry 1 through 10 here. I don't know. I know the one where it's get your ass in the motherfucking house before I beat your ass or whatever. They do that one on Facebook with all the letters. That one I have no idea. I should know it. You're gonna have to tell me, Grateful. You guys lasted longer than Tommy and Thindu. Tommy got bored. Thindu fell asleep. AOV was just silently watching, taking notes, disagreeing with everything. And Toddfather's eating chicken. I feel like those countries send us coded messages. Oh, yeah. So I'm still confused on that. Is that on there? The CC. Oh, I see what you're saying. Now I get it. The 1 through 10. Now I see. That went right over my head. Yeah, no, that's a good call. And it has the word call in there. It's funny. Yeah, let me check and see if there's any latest breaking news here. Nope. It says, holy smokes, missiles are raining down on Tel Aviv less than 2 hours after the ceasefire agreement. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like there's all kinds of stuff going on now. I'm going to jump on the news and see. Getting too relaxed. It's easy to do on this show. The last coded message I ever understood was when you put the beeper upside down and said hello, right? I like acronyms. That's why I was like, I thought that she was I thought you were quizzing me, Grateful. When you first put that up, it went right over my head. I'm like, I thought you were yeah, it was a question, like a legit question, like, what does this mean? I'm like, let me think here. Did you guys know that LASER is an acronym? Light amplified by the stimulated emission of radiation. LASER. TAMDAR, Tropospheric Airborne Meteorological Data Report. It's how they measure weather from like black boxes on airplanes and weather balloons. I love acronyms. All right, guys, I got to go. Thanks for hanging out, Grateful and Adam and Magooch and everybody else. Hey, teacher. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll do the scientist one. Everyone, have a great night.